Hi, we do tutorials for Android.
This video is intended primarily for those who are new to Android. So if you've had lots of experience with Android, you may see some things here that you're very familiar with that are very basic. But these are 10 things that we think every Android user should know, and they will come in handy in your day-to-day use of your phone.
So, without further ado, here are our 10 things. So within the notification shade, you are able to swipe down with 2 fingers to reveal additional text and also reveal actions that you can perform within the notification itself without actually opening the app, such as +1ing a post and also replying. The same is true with Gmail, for example. You're able to archive and reply as well. Additionally, you're also able to do the same thing with just 1 finger by clicking and holding and swiping down.
If you're familiar with Android, you're probably familiar with widgets. And since Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, you've been able to add widgets to your lock screen. I'm going to show you how to do that. Just one thing to be aware of is you may have to go into security in your settings and enable lock screen widgets if you can't add them. But you add them by swiping to the left, and you'll get this big add button. If you already have a widget there, you'll have to swipe all the way to the left. You can see that there's various widgets that you can add to your lock screen. And another thing to be aware of is that not every single widget that is available for your home screen, for example, is available for the lock screen. There's only certain lock screen enabled widgets. So let's say I want like my Google Plus post to show up there. I can just go in and add a widget there, and then even without unlocking my phone, I can swipe to the left and access that widget. And one thing that you may also want to be aware of is that since you don't have to unlock the phone to access the widget, there may be private information there. Just know that someone might be able to access that information without unlocking the phone. So just something to be aware of.
One cool way that you can access lots of different settings on your phone is to swipe down with 2 fingers from the top of your screen, like so. And it'll bring up your quick toggles settings. And a lot of these toggles, all you have to do is long press on them and it'll toggle between on or off. So for example, if you were to hold down your Wi-Fi button, it'll toggle through being off and on, like so. Another cool thing would be your battery. You just click it and bloop, see your battery. And yeah, it's really easy to just toggle through any kind of settings that you want to quickly go in and out of, like airplane mode or anything you want.
The next must-know features that we want to cover are the built-in data and battery monitors in Android. So if you go in here either to your settings or through your quick toggles, you can get to a data monitor where you can see exactly how much data your phone's been using. You can set limits and warnings, and you can view app by app how much data each one has been using. And this comes in handy if you're trying to watch your data limits or trying to monitor that. Along with a data monitor, you also have a built-in battery monitor, and there probably are some third-party apps out there that will do a lot more and that are better for managing your battery, but this is pretty bare bones, and it's all you need really. It gives you a graph of your battery over time and how long you've been unplugged, and it gives you a breakdown of all of your apps and processes and how much battery they've been taking up, so you can really kind of dial in and monitor what's eating your battery or what's draining it the most. And if you press on your graph, you can get even more details on what's going on with your phone, what's draining your battery life.
One commonly misunderstood thing in Android is the sharing intent. So sharing sometimes means, sharing on social media like Facebook and whatnot. But in Android, sharing can be a number of things. For one thing, what you can do is you can share photos. So for example, if I want to share this picture of my cat, you click the share button down at the bottom, and you can choose through a number of different apps of where you want to send it to. So you can share it with Hangouts, Google+, Gmail, So for example, if I want to go to Google Plus, and you can share it to anyone. However, there's also another way to share things. For example, if you go to Chrome and say you find something, you're like, oh wow, that's really important. I want to save that that sentence so that I can look at it later. You choose the sentence. You can click the share button at the top. And you can share even text to Google Keep like this. And then boom, it has what you got right there. That's how the sharing works.
Another must-know feature that's built into Android and almost all manufacturers' keyboards nowadays is gesture typing, or some call it swipe. And that's where you can run your finger over the keyboard to form words, just move from letter to letter instead of tapping. And you can see here on the Google keyboard that it even gives you a live preview of the word that you're trying to form. So that's an alternate way of typing that comes in very handy, especially when you're using only one hand to type.
Android has quite a few different ways that allow you to comfortably use your phone with one hand. One of those ways is with zooming. Normally, it really helps to have two thumbs in order to zoom, but there's a cool way that Android has provided to zoom using only one hand. One way, or that way, is through double tapping and pulling down. So for example, say you're in Google Maps, you double tap and just bring your thumb down and it'll zoom in and out, kind of depending on how fast you bring it down. Typically though, or normally, those tend to only work using Google apps. There's some apps that work otherwise, but for the most part, it's just through Google that works. Again, in the Photos apps, it works as well.
This next tip is for Google Chrome users. There are a few shortcuts that you can use to navigate through your tabs in Google Chrome. And most obviously, you can press on the tabs button to reveal your tabs. But what might not be immediately obvious is that you can also swipe down from the Omnibar to reveal your tabs. And the other shortcut is that if you want to flip through your tabs in order, you can swipe across the Omnibar to change tabs. This comes in really handy when you want to get to something really quickly or quickly reveal your tabs.
The next tip is something that can be used in a lot of different apps. A lot of apps have implemented it, but the easiest way to see it is in Chrome or any other Google app for that matter. So normally when you go to a menu, you would tap the three dots right there. Something that's been implemented recently, however, is the ability to click and drag down from the overflow menu and just go to wherever you want it to, whatever button you want to press. And it works for anything really, from tab.
Our final tip is the Google Now app itself. And you can get to Google Now by going to the Google Search app, and that'll pull up Google Now. Google Now is Google's way of giving you relevant information wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And the more information that you allow it to use, the smarter it is and the more helpful it is. And Google Search is integrated into it as well. So it's kind of your dashboard for everything in a way. So Google Now can show you search results. You can do a search. You can look at events. It'll pull events from your calendar. It'll show you the weather. It'll warn you about traffic. It'll give you driving times. It'll show you nearby places. And one of the features that we like most about it is reminders. You can use Google Now to create reminders that are smart. These reminders can be activated by time or location. So if I create a new reminder here, I want to say, remind me to feed the dog. And I want it to remind me when I get home. And since I have home saved here, if I set that reminder, it will remind me when I get to that location. So these are very useful. You can set all sorts of reminders, remind me to buy milk whenever I get to, set the grocery store. So this is incredibly useful and
and it's, like I said, it's Google's way of giving you all the relevant information you need whenever you need it most.
Thank you for watching. If you have a feature that you use every day that we did not cover, feel free to let us know in the comments. Until next time, thank you.